Hi, welcome back to Faye and Stories. Today, we're diving into the undersea UFO stories. Imagine this. A U.S. congressman goes on a podcast. He says a Navy officer still active came to him and told him something out of a movie.
Wait, what kind of movie?
This officer says he went on a deep-sea mission. In the middle of the ocean, he saw something. Not just one thing, but a glowing, translucent being. And nearby, massive structures, clearly engineered, but not by us.
What? So like an underwater alien city?
That's what he claims. And in early September, there will be a new UAP hearing. That's short for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. Basically, the government's new term for UFOs. They say this witness is going to show up with wreckage from under the ocean.
What's going on beneath the sea?
That's what we're diving into today. And the most shocking part? According to the congressman, the Navy has been actively engaging with these beings, studying the structures, planning future contact. But here's the kicker. The officer claims he recovered wreckage, not just random debris, but a piece of something engineered, something that tried to approach those structures and didn't make it back. Let's rewind a bit. After that wild claim exploded online, everyone asked the same question. Where did the story even come from?
So it wasn't from an official source?
Not even close. It started with a podcast interview, a low-key conversation, until a U.S. congressman casually dropped what might be the biggest military leak in years.
So he just said it out loud?
He didn't give names, no photos, no coordinates, but he said enough, including that the officer compared them to the entities in James Cameron's movie, The Abyss. Still, no specific department, no documents, just a story.
So we're left with a choice. Believe the congressman or wait for the hearing.
Exactly. And while we wait, let's explore some other deep-sea mysteries. You've seen The Abyss, right?
Yeah. A team of divers finds alien beings at the bottom of the ocean. Glowing, intelligent, peaceful, living in massive underwater structures. It was beautiful and creepy.
Exactly. It came out in 1989. Back then, people called it fantasy. Now, more and more people are starting to wonder, was it actually prophetic?
You mean, did James Cameron know something?
Let's put it this way. If you've seen our episode on How Deep is the Ocean, you'll remember we talked about James Cameron. He's not just a filmmaker. He actually dove to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, built his own sub, obsessed with the deep sea, and with what might be living down there.
Right. That was wild. He went deeper than almost anyone in history.
And here's the thing. In The Abyss, the aliens don't invade. They don't attack. They just exist, watching, hiding, occasionally interacting.
Which is eerily similar to what the Navy officer allegedly described.
Right? Semi-transparent figures, appearing during a mission, not attacking, not communicating, just observing. Almost like they're waiting for something.
Or testing us.
And if this new testimony is real, if these beings are anything like what the Abyss imagined, then maybe we need to rethink what's been labeled fiction.
Maybe fiction is just classified reality.
And if you haven't seen our episode, How Deep is the Ocean? We highly recommend watching it after this, because the truth down there might be even weirder than the sky. Let's leave Hollywood behind and head to the real ocean floor.
Oh, you mean back to reality?
Kind of. In 2011, a Swedish diving team called Ocean X was scanning the Baltic Sea floor. They were actually looking for sunken treasure, old shipwrecks. But what they found was way weirder.
What did they see?
A massive, perfectly circular structure, about 92 meters wide. It looked like a stone disc, with symmetrical lines, straight edges, stairs, grooves, even what looked like a ramp.
Wait, are we still talking about a natural formation?
That's the mystery. Some geologists say it's just glacial rock, but others, especially the divers, insist it looked manufactured, artificial. One of them even said, "It looks like the Millennium Falcon just sitting on the seafloor."
So the Baltic Sea has its own Roswell.
That's what many people started calling it, the Baltic Sea Roswell. And the mystery only grew when the team tried to investigate further.
What happened?
Their electronic equipment kept failing. Cameras, lights, sonar, all scrambled, as if something was interfering. And then, military vessels showed up.
Military?
Yep, unmarked ships. Swedish authorities. Some say even NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization assets were nearby. The area was suddenly declared restricted.
Let me guess. Investigation stopped?
Completely. To this day, the object is still there, still unexplained. And no one has ever given a definitive answer on what it really is.
So we have a 300-foot wide disc-shaped object on the ocean floor with electrical interference and no further exploration allowed.
And that's not from a sci-fi movie. That's real-world sonar data and real diver testimony.
That's unsettling.
Now imagine if that's just one example. What else is down there, hidden in the darkness? So the Baltic anomaly is strange, but it's not the only one. In fact, stories of USOs, unidentified submerged objects, have been around for decades.
UFOs, but underwater.
Exactly. And what's scary is, they're often faster than anything we know. Not flying saucers, but torpedo-shaped lights, changing direction instantly, vanishing into the depths.
That's worse than flying. You can't see what's coming from below.
Let me give you a few examples. Off the coast of California, military sonar once picked up something moving underwater at over 500 knots. That's nearly 600 miles per hour. Submarines can't do that. Nothing we have can.
And it was confirmed?
Never officially, but multiple retired Navy personnel have talked about it, off the record.
So what else is out there?
In the 1960s, near Cuba, a U.S. submarine reported chasing an object that dove to 28,000 feet in seconds. That's deeper than most submarines can even survive.
What? That's almost like teleportation.
Exactly. Then there's the Red Sea incident, where a Russian crew claimed to see glowing orbs rise from the water and shoot into the sky. And in 1990, fishermen near Puerto Rico saw a disk enter the water without a splash. They said it just melted through the surface.
Okay, but are these just stories? Any footage?
Some. Blurry radar screens, low-res sonar scans, but nothing clear enough for the skeptics. And in some cases, when blurry footage does surface online, it disappears just as fast. Flagged, removed, buried, as if someone doesn't want the public to look too closely.
So either someone's lying, or something's really there, and someone's hiding it.
Exactly. And here's a question no one likes to ask. If governments do know what's down there, are they staying quiet because we're in danger, or because we're not ready?
Or worse, because they're working with whatever's down there.
We've always looked to the sky for answers. Maybe it's time we started looking down. Let's play a dangerous game for a moment. What if all of it is true?
You mean the glowing entities, the underwater cities, the Navy contact?
Yes. What if the oceans, covering 70% of our planet, aren't just unexplored, but occupied? Think about it. The ocean is Earth's largest, oldest, and most stable ecosystem. If you were an advanced intelligence, trying to observe humanity without interfering, where would you hide? Not the sky. That's where we're always looking. But the ocean? It's the perfect blind spot. Cold, silent, pressurized. A place where light doesn't reach, and questions go unanswered for decades.
Occupied by who?
We don't know. And maybe we're not supposed to. But let's assume. The witness is real, the wreckage is real, the beings are real. And on early September, someone walks into that UAP hearing room and tells the world, we are not alone.
Then everything changes. Religion, science, politics, our entire view of reality.
But it wouldn't be the first time that truth was hidden in plain sight. For years, stories like these have been dismissed as science fiction, only for pieces to resurface decades later in declassified files.
So you're saying we should take this seriously?
No, I'm saying we should stay curious, ask questions, watch closely, because sometimes the biggest stories start with the weirdest whispers. And sometimes whispers turn into headlines. But here's the question no one dares to ask. What if we're not the first intelligence to call Earth home? We've spent centuries looking up, praying to the stars. Maybe the ones who shaped us were always beneath our feet. That's why we'll be following the September hearing very closely. And if anything real comes out of it, we'll be here to break it down for you. If even a fraction of this is true, then we've misunderstood the nature of our own planet. Religions would be forced to adapt, Nations would be forced to cooperate or go to war over access. And science? It would face a choice. Keep explaining or start listening.
And if you want us to dive deeper into the history of underwater UFOs, or the story behind the Baltic Sea Roswell, or even the truth about the Roswell incident itself,
Just let us know in the comments.
because we have a lot more stories to tell. And the ocean? It's only the beginning. And remember, if the ocean truly hides otherworldly secrets, you'll want to see just how deep it goes. Check out How Deep is the Ocean if you haven't already.